Hey gang, I'm Matt Rosinski and I want to give you a quick overview of what to expect when you're on the ultralight weight management program. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically look at the food you're eating and how the program is going to play out for you over the 5-week period. So let's look at the number one thing is ketosis. So the ultralight weight management program is a program that's basically based on the ketogenic diet. Now, the ketogenic diet has been used for many years, many years, and it's actually got its origins way back in the Paleolithic era because it's very similar to the type of diet that we have been eating for many eons. And what we're going to look at is making sure that we're in a good state of ketosis. When you're in ketosis, you basically, instead of burning glucose, which is coming from the carbohydrates in your food, we're going to be burning ketones. And ketones are going to be coming from the fat stores that you already have in your body. So that's the goal, is to basically turn those fat stores into the energy that your body is burning. So how do we measure that? How do we know that you're in a state of ketosis? Well, we are going to be using these keto sticks. So the keto sticks are basically a measure that you will be able to see where exactly you are in ketosis or whether you're not in ketosis, and give us some measures and ideas of where we need to change the food that you're eating to get you into a good state of nutritional ketosis so that you're burning your own stores of fat for fuel. The way that you'll do it is basically the first thing in the morning when you go to the toilet, you pee on one of these sticks that basically are going to measure the amount of ketones, and we're going to look at the colour of the stick. So after 15 seconds you're going to look at that colour, and when it turns to, so if it turns too pale, then we know that you're going to need to reduce the amount of carbohydrates that you're eating. If it's too dark, so on this side of the scale, then we know that you're having too many proteins in your daily food. So we're basically aiming to be in the middle here, around 1.5. And because we're using these on a daily basis, we're going to know where you're at and how effectively we're getting you into that state of ketosis. Okay, so they're a very important part of the process. One of the things that you're also going to need to do, especially during the first few weeks, is making sure that you've got plenty of water. Just plain pure water, filtered water. And the reason for that is because your body is going to be basically eliminating a lot of toxins. As you burn your own fat stores, that's going to release other toxins that have been stored in that fat, and keeping you hydrated is going to be very important. So we're looking at around 2.5 litres per day, and basically a good way of doing that is to fill a water bottle so that you know how much you have. It might be 500 ml water bottle, and then you just go through that 4.5 times during the day, and that gets you your target amount of water consumption for the day. The other thing that you'll be doing is having these habit relief drops. So you've heard of the keto flu. One of the reasons for that is that you're getting, because you are going to be expelling and getting a detoxification process that's happening, you're also going to be losing electrolytes, and that's what is the cause of this keto flu that you might have heard about. So by having these drops 4 times a day, they're going to be replacing some of those essential electrolytes, namely potassium, sodium and magnesium, that you lose during the process of eliminating the toxins in your body. So that's how we're going to address that, and you'll have those during the day, and that'll help you as well as reduce any side effects, also stave off any hunger that you have during the in-between meals. So another thing that you'll be having is flaxseed oil and apple cider vinegar. So the flaxseed oil is a very good source of omega-3 fatty acids. So this is an essential fatty acid that you need to have in your diet, and that's going to be so we're going to have that as a dressing. So you can have that as a dressing on your salads or your vegetables, and it can also be mixed in with the apple cider vinegar. And when they mix together, it creates basically a nice dressing that you can apply to your salad and get it into your digestion better through the use of the apple cider vinegar. So that creates an emulsion, so it'll actually look quite a bit like just a regular salad dressing that you can use throughout your day, in your lunch, in your dinner, and that sort of thing. So the apple cider vinegar and the flaxseed oil, they're a very important part of the daily routine. In between meals, we've got these sachets, and these are flavoured drink sachets, and that's to really help you stave off any hunger cravings that you might have between meals, because we don't want you to be feeling hungry on this program, and because if you are used to a very high carbohydrate diet, then having these drinks, it's not a meal replacement or anything like that. It's basically just gives you that little bit of sweetness, but it also gives you these amino acids that'll help balance your blood glucose throughout the day to keep it nice and even. Because basically, if you feel lightheaded or headache, a headache type of feeling, that could be because of your blood glucose dropping a bit too low. And these sachets and the drinks that you have, they come in different flavours, a few sweet flavours that you can choose, and then there's some savoury flavours. You can have them hot or cold, and they basically just help you stabilise and keep your blood glucose nice and level throughout the day. Some things that we'll be wanting you to do is do a little bit of exercise through the week. So we're not talking about a huge amount of rigorous exercise. We're not going to force you to go to the gym or anything like that, but it's going to be more like a nice walk. So walk around the block if you've got pets, taking the dog for a walk, half an hour, 3 times a week is the sort of level of exercise that we're looking to get. It might be walking around the mall, or basically we want you to be doing something that you enjoy doing, and to incorporate some exercise just as part of this change in lifestyle that you're learning. Something else that we'll need you to do is, because we are going to meet up every week, so we're going to go through how you're going. You've got this manual that you'll be given, and it shows you basically some ideas. It's got some recipes at the back. It also shows some things that you can basically eat on the diet. So a list of the proteins, a list of the carbohydrates, and that's in terms of the vegetables, the fruits, and the beverages. So in terms of the fruits, you can have things like rock melon, grapefruit, strawberries, watermelon, and just in a certain portion. So we're talking about a portion control there that you'll be needing to measure with some scales. So you're going to need some scales on the program so that you can measure, get an idea of your portion sizes. For instance, 1 portion of protein will be 2 rashers of bacon, as an example. So that's about 60 grams of protein, and that's pretty much the standard portion size for 1 serve of protein. So each day what you'll be doing is filling out a menu sheet to list the foods that you're eating, and it'll also be something that you will keep a tabs on the size of the portion. So because we're looking for 4 portions of protein per day. You'll be basically looking at the grams of protein. This is weighed before it's been cooked, so that might be chicken, that might be bacon, it might be beef, and then your carbs. And importantly, the carbs that we're looking for is to keep that below 20 grams of whole carb food. So that might be in the form of something like an eggplant, lettuce, something like an avocado. Those are the types of veggies that you'll be able to have during the program. We've got a full list here. There's also a full list of recipes that you can use. So keeping a menu or a diet log of what you're eating through the day is going to be something that we review on a weekly basis, so that when you measure your level of blood of urine ketones, we will be able to see where exactly you are, and then have a look at what you've been eating, and then make some decisions on whether you need to reduce the amount of carbohydrates that you're eating, or maybe reduce the amount of protein that you're eating, because we're trying to get that balance right. It's not a high-fat diet, okay? So you might have heard about the high-fat, low-carb diet. Well, this is not a high-fat diet. We're aiming to get most of the fat that you're going to be metabolizing is going to actually come from your own body. So that's what we're trying to get here, is this therapeutic level of ketosis where your fat stores are being mobilized to power the energy that you need throughout the day. So the menu sheets are quite important. Some foods that you're going to have to avoid on the program include bread. So just regular bread, wholemeal bread, all breads we're going to need to avoid. Cereals, 1 serve of cereal basically gives you 20 grams of carbs right there. So we're going to need to avoid the cereals and grains like that. Things like pasta. Pasta's not allowed on the diet, and so those, and rice. Rice is another one of the 4 that you're going to need to avoid. If you do want to have some alcohol, we're going to look at the portions on those. If you're having a spirit, there's no carbs in that, but it's generally what you mix with it. So if you're mixing it, you'll need to mix it with something like a diet soda, or preferably just a mineral water, or have it on the rocks. So that you minimise the amount of carbs in that. If you're having a wine, like a white wine, a regular glass of white wine will have about 8 grams of carbs, and that already puts you up quite high, or quite close to the 20 gram limit for the day. So those are the main things that we're going to be going through. Well, if you wanting to have a certain food, we can have a look at the amount of carbs that are in that, and work on getting that into your diet if that's something that you want to look at. So that's basically an overview. We'll be meeting on a weekly basis to go through your results, to go through. We'll basically measure your blood pressure, your weight, progress on a weekly basis, and take your body measurements, some metrics, over the course of the 5-week program, so that we can monitor and track your success and make adjustments as we go along. So I hope that's given you a good overview, and I look forward to working with you.